Is this a new video?
I'm
Getting
legit,
a preview?
Dave. Yeah.
You're legit?
Yeah. I was driving the plane.
We're recording already?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very smart. Just put it there.
Okay, what?
Yeah. Those are low flights, Dave. These are like Pablo Escobar low flights.
Everything relates back to a Narcos episode.
Yeah.
Narcos.
And billions.
And billions.
So this is just gonna be like casual talk. I compiled questions from like the team.
Oh, okay. From the team. Great.
Some might be
Yeah?
maybe personal or
Some might be.
yeah.
Okay.
Just be open-minded.
I will be.
Yeah.
And I might close my mouth.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So I know you're famous here
Thanks
in
for
like
picking up lunch.
Cebu. Like you're very well known. You're like a Rotary Club secretary. But
I
just
am
for
now.
like the people who don't know you, like just talk a little bit about yourself.
I'm Dave Overton. I've lived in Cebu for about 15 years now. So yeah, I guess I know a lot of people in Cebu, or a lot of people would recognize me in Cebu. Mainly from like the old days, because I helped train a lot of the original Starbucks employees here in Cebu. And so I worked at Starbucks when they were starting their first branch outside of Metro Manila. Mainly because I was just desperate for good coffee. And I figured I wouldn't last many years here if there wasn't good coffee. But because of that, a lot of people like started recognizing me, and you know, I was the white guy behind the counter in Starbucks, which was different now than
This was the one in Ayala, like in the
yeah,
terraces.
like the original one in the terraces area, where it was like its own freestanding building. And so, yeah, I mean, who am I now? Well, I've done a lot of things. So my wife and I started Glory Reborn, which is a nonprofit maternity clinic that delivers babies and provides like care for women and children.
How many babies now have you delivered?
They've delivered something like 4,000.
How about you yourself?
Personally, I've only done one. That was enough.
So
We shouldn't talk about
these
labor
are the
delivery.
questions from the team. Personally, freedom of press.
Freedom of press.
What is the most challenging part in being an entrepreneur?
Most challenging part. You know, it's kind of hard to answer, you know, questions that are just what is the one thing that's so challenging. Because I think the challenges depend on where you are in the journey. You know, like entrepreneurship has, it has different seasons and different phases and different journey points. And so along the way, there are different challenges. You know, when you're beginning, I think part of the challenge is that you just feel alone. You feel like, oh man, I have this idea, I want it to work, no one can help me. You're kind of just on your own. And like you have friends and family, and that's good, but they are probably not as passionate about the idea or the problem that you're trying to solve. And they don't really understand what you're trying to do and why it's so important to you. They just don't, like, to the fullest degree that you understand it, get why you're doing this. And so I think that's like one of the challenges in entrepreneurship. You know, where I am right now in the journey with Symph, you know, I would say probably our biggest challenge, or like my biggest challenge in running the company is shifting. And so what I mean by that is we've changed a lot. We've grown a lot. Like we grew into a group that could no longer fit in the room comfortably. And you know, I literally would crawl under the desk every day to get to like my chair. Because it was just blocked in, and that was what you did, you know? And so those days were very different. So now I think the challenge is you have to, as an entrepreneur, scale yourself up and shift your focus onto other things and bigger problems or bigger perspective. And so, you know, where I'm at in the journey right now, that's probably the biggest challenge. Internally shifting my own perspectives, not doing things the way I would normally do them, because that will no longer work.
Yeah.
You know?
That's really good. That's really good. And yeah, you should start eating
Okay.
while
I'll try.
It's okay. It's like they're my here.
Yeah, there's gonna be like cheering on the soundtrack.